Hillary Clinton and Senator Bernie Sanders locked in a razor-thin race that at this point remains undecided. But Republicans turned out in record numbers, handing a clear victory to Senator Ted Cruz over Donald Trump, who finished second. And right on his heels, a surging Senator Marco Rubio.
Iowa has sent notice that the Republican nominee and the next president of the United States will not be chosen by the media, will not be chosen by the Washington establishment, will not be chosen by the lobbyists.
We will go on to get the Republican nomination, and we will go on to easily beat Hillary or Bernie or whoever the hell they throw up there.
When it is all said and done, we have to be united against a Republican vision and candidates who would drive us apart and divide us.
Tonight, while the results are still not known, it looks like we are in a virtual tie. Iowa, thank you.
Tonight here in Iowa, the people of this great state have sent a very clear message. After 7 years of Barack Obama, we are not waiting any longer to take our country back.
Shannon Bream is live. She is still in Des Moines for us. Shannon.
Hi, John. Well, you know, we had seen the polling, and you never know until people actually show up at these caucus sites and begin casting their votes. And a lot of the people that we've talked to across Iowa, and even at the caucus site we were at last night, said they had not made up their minds. They were sitting there in the audience listening to these last pitches by the candidates or their surrogates before making up their mind. Now, for a lot of people, they think Cruz's win came down to a very strong ground game. We had 12,000 volunteers here in the state of Iowa, all across the state, working old-fashioned, door-to-door campaigning, phone banks, those kinds of things. And that's what Iowans say they expect, those personal contacts. Here's what Cruz had to say last night, sort of this theme about the establishment or anointed candidates not being the ones who won.
Tonight is a victory for the grassroots. Tonight is a victory for courageous conservatives across Iowa and all across this great nation.
Interesting that on the other side of the ticket, a very similar theme came from the man who now stands in a razor-thin second place, Senator Bernie Sanders, again, also talking about how the anointed or the establishment candidate didn't win. Of course, this is coming from the left instead of Cruz on the right, but here is what Senator Sanders said last night.
I think the people of Iowa have sent a very profound message to the political establishment, to the economic establishment, and, by the way, to the media establishment.
And while his team is counting this as a big win, even though technically not the winner, that hasn't been declared, although former Secretary of State and Senator Hillary Clinton has claimed victory. She is not conceding anything. She said she was breathing a big sigh of relief last night and says she has won here. She has claimed victory in Iowa, and it's important for her because moving forward, things are going to change. We know on both sides of the ticket it's a very different game in New Hampshire. Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders both have strong double-digit leads there. It's going to be make or break for several of the GOP candidates who didn't do well here last night, but are showing a little bit better in New Hampshire. We think about folks like Governor Kasich and former Governor Bush. It may be do or die time for them as they move into New Hampshire. That's the next stop on this whirlwind. John, back to you.
All right, Shannon Bream joining us from Des Moines. Thank you, Shannon.
Well, the Democratic candidates wasting no